So today I'm going to be doing a mock test with Charlotte. Some of you may have seen Chloe a couple of weeks back who did a mock test with me. She passed a couple of days later, so congratulations again, Chloe, you absolutely smashed it. And now we're going to be teaching Chloe's sister Charlotte. Now Charlotte's been doing some lessons with another instructor and she's got a test coming up fairly soon. This is the first time she's driven this car and we've spent probably about 15 minutes roughly in this car. It is very different to the car that she was driving before. This is a 217 brake horsepower, a bar 500, and you're used to a diesel Vauxhall Corsa. So as some of you already know, the diesel technique of pulling away is something I hate, and Charlotte's already experienced the amount of stalls that can occur as a result. So gas first, then clutch up to the bite point, saves that stress. Because Charlotte's not used to this car, I'm going to not ask her to do the show me tell me question on the move because she doesn't know where anything is. I'll basically do all the demisters and stuff like that to save the headache. And I'm going to be a little bit lenient when it comes to some of the control faults, okay, because again she's got to get used to this vehicle. But otherwise the same rules apply. Test will last for 38 to 40 minutes. During that time, I'm going to do one manoeuvre plus possibly the emergency stop. If I say nothing, assume I want you to go straight or follow the road signs. Okay. And if you're not sure of anything, you are allowed to ask me to repeat. Okay. Okay. So, when you're ready, start the car and good luck.
The roundabout and take the second exit in Overway. Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
So this is why it's important to look at the sat-nav as well as just listen to it. Charlotte doesn't notice that she needs to turn right until this command.
Turn right, A1055. Avenue, then turn right.
But she does check her mirrors as she moves
right,
across. There's no one behind,
right.
No harm done. Don't worry about it. You did the right thing. You checked your mirrors. You moved across in good time.
That would still be okay?
It's fine.
Okay.
All right, so don't worry. Charlotte's mirror checks here are very good, and again position's been held very well as well.
Turn right.
Charlotte gets caught out a little bit here. She keeps her clutch down throughout the corner and therefore is coasting. That would be a driver fault for control gears. And again, as Charlotte goes into this corner, she keeps her clutch down and therefore accumulates another driver fault for coasting. You will see that the car will pick up speed here as it goes around the corner, and it goes a little bit wide. That's why it's so important that you have your clutch fully up before you start to turn. Charlotte again coasts into this corner, accumulating yet another driver fault for control gears. This is why it's so important that you get into the habit of getting that clutch fully up before you start to turn. It is very easy pickings for the examiner, and they don't even have to look. It is very obvious just by the sound when you are coasting.
After 200 yards, turn left, Bilton Way.
As Charlotte goes into this corner, she doesn't hug the left-hand side and therefore picks up a driver fault for normal driving position.
Turn left.
Charlotte's approach to the end of this road is very good. She's followed the curve to the left-hand side and she's looking repeatedly both right and left. And what I'd like you to do is park on the left just before the next car. Leave enough room to get back out there.
At the end of the road, turn right, A1055, Mollison Avenue.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the emergency stop exercise. Okay, I'm going to ask you to drive on, and I'm going to look over my right shoulder. Please do not take this as a signal, but when I put my hand out and say stop, I'd like you to stop the car as quickly and safely as possible.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions?
No, that's fine.
Cool. Drive on when safe to do so, please. Car behind, I'm not going to give you the instruction, okay, so don't worry about it at the moment. We'll come back to the manoeuvre later. Just continue to follow the sat nav.
Okay.
At the end of the road, turn right, A1055, Mollison Avenue.
Charlotte checks the right mirror straight away and takes that position next to the white line, which is perfect. By moving across as early as this, we're taking space from anyone else, so this eliminates any possibility of anyone trying to overtake on the approach to the right turn. Junction fails a lot of people in Enfield, and the reason for that is because they don't look into the junction to see if it's clear before committing past this point here, the white line, because on the right hand side there's a level crossing. Now if there's not enough space here to go into, stay behind the line. It does not make a difference if the traffic light's green, the junction is blocked. The next thing people fail for is this level crossing here. Remember, the amber light means exactly the same as an amber light on the traffic light, so it's stop if safe to do so. Do not be in a rush, don't try to beat it.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Green Street.
So this is now where Charlotte picks up a serious fall. She comes up to this roundabout and there's no one on the right and there's no one ahead to worry about. But she stops, so this is a hesitation fall. Now she does stall, so no biggie. Driver fault for control and pull away. But now she starts to give way to the vehicles on her left, so that's another hesitation fall. And then again here, she should be going. I'm going to have to prompt her, and at this point
Remember,
it's a
they
serious
will
fall
stop.
for
They're
hesitation.
on your left.
Okay.
So you're on their right, so they have to give way to you.
After 200 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, A1010, Hertford Road, then turn left.
It's actually quite scary.
Keeping it authentic.
Yeah, this is really bad.
You're doing well, considering you've never really driven this car apart from 10 to 15 minutes. And in that time we had to change
Yeah.
quite a bit, you know, so you're doing well.
Thank you.
All the little mistakes and stuff, don't stress about it. That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
After
of the mod.
70 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, A1010, Hertford Road, then turn left. Go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, then turn left.
Obviously the sat-nav saying it's a roundabout, it's not, as we can see.
Yeah.
It's because this junction's changed fairly recently, so TomTom hasn't upgraded their system.
Yeah.
And also if you are doing your test in Enfield, you will have the same problem with this at the moment. Obviously TomTom will upgrade their database hopefully in the next couple of months, but up until that point it will still read this as a roundabout.
Okay.
And that's why it's important that you don't just listen to the sat-nav or look at the speed that the sat-nav's saying, because it's not entirely accurate. Sometimes the speed might have changed, and if you fall for that trap, you're going to fail for speeding or going too slow. So use your eyes, see what the junction's actually saying, what the road signs are saying, and make a decision on that rather than just basing it on the sat-nav.
You'll see that Charlotte starts looking at the traffic light on her right hand side and she does slow down. Luckily she does decide to carry on going. Had she have stopped there, it would have been an instant fail.
Turn left.
Remember, that traffic light is not for you, there's no stop line on the floor. It's the traffic light for the opposite side of the junction.
Direct.
Charlotte misses the left turn, but not a problem, not even a driver fault. But as she approaches this traffic light, she goes to knock it into first gear, but she doesn't actually select it properly. So as she goes to pull away, nothing happens.
Car's on. Need a
You
gear.
will arrive at your destination at
So as Charlotte was
1412.
under a bit of pressure, I've had to give her a little bit of a prompt. I've not marked that down as a serious fault. Some examiners would, but some of them
After
will be nice
200
enough to help
yards,
you out,
go
because they
left
can
on
see
the
that you're under
roundabout
pressure.
And take the first exit, Carter Hat Lane. Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
how many hours have you had so far with your other instructor?
Around 30, 32 maybe.
Okay. And with those hours, would you say that you feel confident with sort of all the application of driving? Do you feel smooth with his car?
Yeah, in his car I feel really good. This car I feel really scared.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, from one car to another, the difference can be huge.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's really important when you pass your test. Take some time to get used to that new car, because it's going to feel completely different. You know, you could never rely on it being exactly the same. You could get in another Vauxhall Corsa and it would still feel completely different to the one that you're driving now. There's so many variables. Things like the height of the bite could be different because it's dependent on how worn out the clutch is.
Yeah.
You know, and the more worn the clutch is, the higher the bite point. So when you see that your clutch is sort of more than 3/4 of the way up before you find the bite, that's a good sort of way of knowing that the clutch is going to be dying fairly soon.
Right, okay.
So if you're going to be buying a second-hand car and you find that, haggle out another £500 because it's going to cost you about £400 to change the clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After 80 yards, cross the roundabout and take the first exit, then take the third right.
And with your lessons, do you feel that there's any subjects that you still want to work on? Do you feel confident with all of those?
Probably roundabouts.
Okay.
Roundabouts I need a little bit more on.
So what is it with roundabouts that you find
It's the
worrying?
bigger roundabouts that I get a bit nervous with.
Okay.
The smaller roundabouts I think I'm okay with. But yeah, the big ones, they scare me.
You got away with it on this test route then?
Really?
Yeah, you haven't got any of the big ones on this route.
Thank you.
I didn't know if I did.
That's why it's good not to mention these things.
That's it, don't give the game away.
I never. Just keep quiet.
That's it. But obviously you know your weak point, so it's important to say to your instructor that this is what we need to work on.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I need to build confidence with.
Yeah.
5 minutes delay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So the vehicle in front starts to do what we call a 3-point turn. Now at this point we should be holding back, but Charlotte does start to move. She does then hit the brakes when she does realise what's going on, but when you see the vehicle in front pull over to the right, there's no driveway there, no roads there. It's pretty obvious what their intention is. Just hold back. Because she did react, no driver thought it was being marked down. She also does a very good job stopping before the zebra crossing, therefore not picking up a serious fault for pedestrian crossings.
After 100 yards, turn right, A10, Great Cambridge Road.
Charlotte's position here isn't ideal. She should be following the arrow on the floor, and because she keeps it straight, she gives herself restricted view to the vehicles that are ahead of us. Now you'll notice that the vehicle behind us will actually overtake because they've already seen it safe when Charlotte still couldn't see.
Sorry.
After 250 yards, you have reached your destination on your right.
And again, just continue to drive. Don't worry about the sat nav.
You have reached your destination.
notice that I keep looking over Charlotte's shoulder here at the speedo, and it's because I can tell that she's going slightly over the speed limit. When you see the examiner doing this, think about why. There must be a reason. Now, in the bottom you'll see that it says 40, now 42. She's actually going 3 or 4 miles an hour faster than that according to the dashboard. So this would be a minor fault, driver fault, for use of speed, as she does return the speed down in good time. Okay, the traffic lights ahead will turn right, please. As always, Charlotte's mirrors are very good. She sees the approaching silver car in lane 2 and she waits for it to move before gently moving across. Superb. She said to the examiner as well.
She was so happy.
Yeah, no, she caught life on that one. So
hopefully I get the same with you.
Hopefully, that's it. Have you done any mock tests with your instructor? Okay.
Never.
And how many lessons have you got leading up to your test?
I've got a 4-hour lesson on Monday.
Okay, so you're doing the...
I like doing blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other week I done a full week of lessons.
Okay.
And I went Wembley and back.
Cool, smashed it.
That was really cool. I liked that.
It's good because it gives you a taster of different areas. A lot of instructors will only teach people in the test area, which is rubbish.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna really learn how to drive like that. You know, as soon as you go like you did on the Cambridge Roundabout, probably.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have a clue unless the instructor did that. So you have got a good instructor there for taking you on different types of roads and different areas. So, have you done motorway?
No.
Cool.
No, I was meant to do a motorway, but he hasn't done it with me.
Okay. Definitely push for that.
Yeah.
You know, because you learn a lot with the motorway lesson.
I've not gone faster than 50 miles per hour, actually.
Okay. So yeah, definitely got to do some fast roads with your instructor. Part of the Enfield test route, as you saw from your sister's mock test with me, is 70 mile an hour. You've got
crazy.
a few 70 mile an hour roads. So as you go up the A10 towards Brookfield Centre,
Yeah.
you know, that's 70 mile an hour national speed limit.
Okay.
And that's used on of the routes. Obviously the bit that your sister did with me is 70, and then you've got also around the back of Waltham Abbey, which is 60 mile an hour. You've got a few roads around the back of Cruise Hill, 60 mile an hour. They're country lanes, so it's important that you get those roads covered as well.
Okay. I'm gonna have to tell him to do a lot with me on Monday.
Yeah, so just basically, if you can, sort of obviously get more lessons booked in so you don't panic and rush, because that's the worst thing you can do. Going into a test going, oh, I've still got to do this, I've still got to do this. You never want that. You know, you want to have everything ticked off, be comfortable with every element, and then it's stress-free.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of motorway, dual carriageways, country lanes, they will help.
Yeah.
I'd like you to park on the left, anywhere where the double yellow line finishes up to the next lamppost. So just anywhere along here.
Thank you. And drive on with safety. Charlotte acknowledges that she hasn't done the 7-point check as she's pulled away, but the problem is she's cut someone up. I'll have to actually say sorry to them, so this would be a serious fault for moving off safety. A good way to remedy this is by securing the car first and then doing your POM routine, and then you don't rush. On the approach to this traffic, Charlotte doesn't go down to first gear. You'll see that she'll touch the gear lever, but she doesn't actually change it. And this is quite a common fault with students. They touch it or they look at it and they think it's in first gear. Now, this isn't so much of a problem as long as you then remember to change it later. But as you'll see, Charlotte does forget to do this. As Charlotte pulls away here, because the traffic is slow moving, she doesn't have to bring the clutch up fully, which is why she hasn't actually noticed that it's in the wrong gear. You could feel it felt a bit funny when it moved there. It wasn't quite as clean as it would be normally, and that's a good indicator that you are in the wrong gear. And as you see, as Charlotte pulls away here, she stalls. But she reacts quickly, she gets the clutch down, she restarts the engine, but she doesn't fix the fault. This is why it's always a good idea to just change it into first. If you're unsure, just do the gear change. Problem is where she stalled here twice on the trot, that is an automatic serious fault for control. Charlotte's mirror work here is very good. She keeps checking the left mirror to see what the vehicle on our left hand side is doing, and she closes the position very well, so thumbs up for this. But unfortunately she picks up one driver fault and one serious fault here. Up ahead there's a 40 miles an hour sign. She doesn't check her 3 mirrors before she accelerates, but as you can see in the GPS tag at the bottom, she's doing 33 as she goes through, which is actually 36, 37 on the speedo. So because she was already exceeding the speed limit before the speed limit sign had passed, she would get a serious fault for use of speed. The bus on the right is indicating left, so it would be safe for Charlotte to go. She is a little bit hesitant here, but does get the car moving fairly soon. But her lane position here is very good. She does maintain the left position, and her mirror works good as well.
Did you want me to take a text?
Yep, that's it. Remember, if nothing's said, we're going straight across. Traffic lights ahead, turn right please. Charlotte takes the right position nice and early here, stopping anyone from being able to overtake. So, well done here. Chloe's a little bit rough here with the clutch, so it's a driver fault for control on moving off. Roundabout ahead, turn left please. On the test you'd be asked to turn right at this roundabout third exit. Make sure you're in the right lane. So the reason why we've gone this way is because I want her to do a reverse bay park, and we're not allowed to practice in the test centre car park. Turn left into the car park please. Okay, I'm just going to go straight towards the bush ahead of us.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is reverse into any space on either side.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, I appreciate you don't know this car.
Yeah.
The turning circle on this car is rubbish.
Okay.
Okay, so where your marker is normally,
Yeah.
you're going to have to turn probably about half a bay earlier than what you did on that car.
Okay.
Okay, so just to make you aware.
Half a bay.
Alright, so we're going to reverse into any bay of your choice. Charlotte's all-round observations here are very good. Unfortunately, during the manoeuvre, she doesn't check over her left shoulder at all, apart from when she does her 7-point checks or 6-point checks, depending on which way you've been taught. So you'll see that she does check the right shoulder, she checks the left mirror, but she's not looking over her left shoulder to look out the rear window. So I've given her a minor fault, driver fault for the moment for observations. Now as she goes in here, the position's not perfect, and that's fair enough because this is a new vehicle. She's Do what not you need used to do. Like I said, it's a different car, Now she different moves turning forward. circle. So She lines herself up with the bays opposite. The problem is in this car park, the bays are not in line. And again, as she pulls away here in reverse, she does a good all-round observation, but that's it. Again, she doesn't do any more observations over her left shoulder. Now, she's not checking our mirrors to see if she's actually in the bay. She's just lining herself up with the bay that's opposite and not really acknowledging what's going on. So now she opens the door, has a look, and she's about 1.5 meters away from the line. So now she moves forward to make another adjustment.
What would you do?
Which is fine. This
I need to
is a
readjust
driver
myself
fault for
again.
control.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, that wasn't a bay, was it? That was middle of the road. Oh my god, I'm embarrassing myself now.
Don't worry.
And again, as Charlotte reverses back here, she doesn't really look over her left shoulder at all. So this would be an accumulative fault and therefore a serious for observations. What's making you stress?
It's the
Forgot
fact
my
that it's a different car. And then, yeah, I wasn't even in the bay. I was in the middle of the road there. That was mental.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Why do you think that you weren't in the bay?
Okay, so when I reversed, there should have been I don't know, I should have come back and I should have been in the right one. But when I went forward to check how I was positioned, I should have looked in my mirrors and been like, there's no white lines.
Ah, perfect.
That would have made more sense.
Because what did you line up with?
I lined up with them.
Perfect. But look at the bays now.
Now it's wonky. Now
These
it
bays on this side of the car park are not in the same position as the bays opposite.
No.
And that's the problem that a lot of people have. They
Yeah.
look at what's ahead of them
Yeah.
rather than where they're actually going.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Enfield Test Centre car park, we're not allowed to go in there because we're not doing the test.
Okay.
But the bays opposite are like this,
Oh, okay.
and they're angled.
Oh no.
So if you use what's ahead of you, not only are you going to be half in one bay, half in another,
Yeah.
but you're also going to be at about a 15-degree angle.
Okay.
So do not use what's ahead of you, use your mirrors. Okay, make sure
Okay.
that you can see the lines on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, and that you're parallel with those lines, not with what's going on ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be a bit lenient in some ways and in others, but obviously you need to know.
Yeah.
So the emergency stop, obviously we wasn't able to do.
Yeah.
Not a biggie, the examiner will abandon it like what happened there. You got 16 driver faults, so 16 minors.
Okay.
Okay, and I've given you, if I tell it right, 17 driver faults. That's all right. And I've given you 3 serious faults,
Okay.
which is not bad at all considering you've not been in this car.
Yeah.
And some of those particular junctions definitely are your kryptonite. So we'll talk about the faults. So the first thing, the parallel park, 1 minor for control because we had to move forward before adjusting, and then a minor and a major for observations. You're not looking around.
Okay. Yeah.
How many times did you look out the back window?
Not many at all.
0.
Oh God.
None.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're doing the little head flick every now and then,
Yeah.
but we're not rotating for those blind spot checks.
Okay.
Okay. In fact, sorry, there was another major as well that I forgot to include. So 5. Okay. Oh no, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4. Gears, 3 times being in the incorrect gear.
Yeah.
To basically put it a little bit blunt,
Yeah.
okay, I wouldn't call your driving very economical.
Okay.
Okay. You're using too low a gear for the speed that you're doing. Okay, so a lot of the time you're ragging the engine. Okay,
Right,
you're
okay.
doing like 3,500 RPM.
Okay.
We should be getting through those gears. Okay, we want to change gear around 1,800 to 2,000 RPM, and that's pretty much the same on any vehicle. Okay, you're probably using about 30 to 40% more fuel doing what you're doing at the moment. Okay.
Okay.
Also, there's 1 foot brake, one bit harsh.
Okay.
Yeah, that was because you were trying to stop at the point rather than trying to stop early and then just easing the car to roll forward.
Yeah.
They're moving off safety, 1 minor, 1 major on safety. Again, not really checking your shoulders properly, but the one you said it yourself, I didn't do my observations.
No.
There's a car coming up from behind, you've pulled in front of them. I've had to say sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have gone there. Okay. And we got 4 for control as well.
Okay.
Okay, so the stalls and judders. Mainly, again, not being definite with the gears. And this was
Yeah.
something that we did on the pre-lesson. So what Charlotte's got a habit of doing is basically trying to hold the top of the gear lever and positioning it in. And then I showed you the slap technique, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you feel that made it a bit easier or more harder? Be honest.
Easier with this car. Easier. I don't feel like the car I'm learning in would have been easier doing that.
Okay, try it.
But yeah, I could give it a go.
Yeah,
Give it a go and see if it works out.
So give it a good slap. It's not going to break.
No.
Okay. So, but it might help. You got most of the time your mirrors were very good. Okay. There was 2 for change of speed where you didn't check all 3 mirrors before pulling away,
Right.
or rear view and slowing down. Use of speed, major. Coming back to the test centre.
Yeah.
Speed limit's 30. There's 40 signs ahead.
Yeah.
You're accelerating before you get to the sign.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Remember, up until that sign it is still 30.
Yeah.
Then as you go through, with all 3 mirrors being checked, making sure there's no one overtaking us,
Yeah.
we can then start going 31, 32, 33. What you're doing is accelerating before that sign, so you're now breaking the speed limit in the 30 zone until you get to that sign. Okay.
Okay.
Progress, appropriate speed. You're a bit slow.
Am I?
So there's a few times where you've got a green traffic light ahead, and the prime example was where the roadworks were.
Yeah.
The cars ahead of you have pulled away, they're making progress.
Yeah.
Now I'd be thinking, I want to get through that green traffic light.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going, not
nice weather.
Yeah, it's true. I panicked that the lights are going to change too quick, so I'm like, instead of rushing it and then panicking to stop, just be slow.
That all relates to planning.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to traffic lights, what you don't want to be thinking, and yes, you do want to be thinking that traffic light's going to change, but what you don't want to be doing is slowing down so much that it changes before you even get to the thing when you could have been 6 miles down the road.
That's true.
What you want to be doing is just driving, accelerating, keeping up with traffic. Okay, it's what we call roadcraft. If you are interested on roadcraft, there's going to be loads of things on YouTube for this. But roadcraft is mainly aimed at basically making progress. Okay, it's an advanced driving skill that you'd use if you do your advanced driving courses in ROSPA or IAM. It's all about trying not to stop. So you want to see things early, overtake things like that. Okay. Now, when you're coming up to that traffic light, yes, you want to be trying to beat it, but you want to be saying to yourself, what's going on behind me? Okay. Is the person behind too close? Are they old? Are they on the phone? What speed am I doing? What's the weather conditions? What type of car are they in? If they're in a truck, their braking distance is going to be increased. If they're in an old car, their braking distance is going to be increased. You know, and then on the approach, you're telling yourself, if this traffic light changes, from here I'd stop, from here I'd stop, from here I'd stop, from here I'd stop, from here I'll go. Because then you're going to make a decision straight away if that traffic light changes to amber. Now, if you're at that point where it's changed to amber and you're too close to that traffic light, you're going to carry on going. Because you're doing 30 miles an hour and that distance could be 15, 20 metres. Because you're only doing 10 mile an hour up to that traffic light, even if that traffic light changes in 2 metres, you're going to be stopping, you know, because you're safe to stop because you're going so slow. So I want you attacking your drive a bit more. Okay. I'm not saying speeding, but be
more decisive.
and be progressive. You know, you want to keep up with traffic. You don't want to cause your own traffic jam. Okay. Hesitation on roundabouts. You said it before. One thing that you really don't like is roundabouts. Sums it up. Okay. What you're doing, you're coming to a roundabout and you're just worried about everyone. Okay. Prime example was that roundabout where I said, just go. Okay. Because as soon as you went, what did the car on your left end do? They have to. Remember, it's your priority. But if you just sit there, they see the old plates and they're going to think, right, I'm going to take advantage. She's not going.
It's true.
Okay. They bully their position. So you've got to just forget the people on your left. I'm not saying completely forget about them because you have to be worried about them, and also they could be useful, they could be a blocker. But if there's no one for you to give way to, no one on the right going straight or turning right, and no one coming cars turning right, go. Just
go. Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. And then position on normal stops on one occasion just a little bit too far from the curb. Okay. You're not sure of the markers on this system, so on this car, so I'm not really that worried about it. But otherwise, not a bad drive. Things to take away, definitely. Roundabouts we need to do some work on. Okay. So have a word with your instructor on that one. Getting your speed up more confidently. Okay, keeping up with traffic flow, and just be more aggressive with the car, really. You know, be more dominant. Okay. How did that feel for you?
That was good. It's helped me a lot. Now I know what to talk to my driving instructor about and sort it out on Monday. Perfect.
Any questions?
No.
Super.
Just thank you.
Pleasure. I really enjoyed that. That was good. So if you're interested in doing a mock test and you just want to do a single lesson with us, let us know. We'll try to book it in because I really enjoyed that today. It was good. Sort of very different to what I normally do with my standard clients, as it were. So yeah. Speak to you all soon.
Thanks.